My name is Vivian Lee. I'm a developer on the application services team at InterSystems.
And my name is Peter Zubiago, and I'm a technical writer here at InterSystems.
Right, so today we'll be talking about how you can make your InterSystems IRIS upgrades even easier with the new upgrade impact checklist. So, like with all software, it's important to upgrade your InterSystems products to their latest versions as those versions are released. Upgrading early and often allows users to receive support alerts so they can stay aware of the support timeframe for certain product features and adapt accordingly so that there are no surprises and they can save time and trouble down the road. It also gives access to security and bug fixes so that they can keep their systems secure and running as expected. And lastly, it gives users access to the latest and greatest features. So as new features are being developed, users can be aware of them and take advantage of them so that their jobs can be made even easier. We also want to point out that InterSystems does support all release versions, regardless of how up-to-date they are, through the WRC. But updates aren't guaranteed after about 2-3 years. So staying within a supported version allows users to receive the latest enhancements and also security patches. Right, so previously, the upgraded experience would involve looking at this long checklist, which shows all the potential cumulative incompatibilities for upgrading a product from an earlier version to the latest one. In this example, it's the 2024.1 version. You can see here that this is a long static HTML page, and typically users would have to manually identify which potential incompatibilities are relevant to them and their configuration. But yeah, so now with the new upgrade impact checklist tool, we take all the information and we make it more easily digestible. So we only show users the incompatibilities that are pertinent to them and their specific upgrade. And next, I'm going to hand it off to Peter to show a demo of this.
Yep, so I'm going to go through an example using this link here, docs.intersystems.com/upgrade, and we'll go through a couple of the things that we've implemented, such as a CSV export, a feedback button to get some input from you guys, and then a demo, and I'll walk through a demo of going through upgrading from 2022.1 to 2024.1. So first of all, I just want to show, this is what Vivian was talking about earlier as the previous upgrade checklist that we had. As you can see, again, it's a long static HTML page. You can click around the side to get to the areas that you want, but it's hard to kind of tell what you're going through. So this is now what we have instead. So the InterSystems Upgrade Impact Checklist provides you with all these fields that you can select specifically what you want to focus on as you go through an upgrade. So first we have products, and we support currently for this feature Cache, Ensemble, HealthShare Health Connect, IRIS for Health, and IRIS itself. And then we have a version from, so you can pick whatever version that you want to upgrade from. We go back to 2018.1, and then what version you want to upgrade to. Right now we're just going to do the old reliable example that I said. So 2022.1, and we're going to upgrade to 24.1. And then down here, you can select the specific features of your InterSystems product that you're specifically interested in seeing what will change and what you might need to focus on as you upgrade. So for this example, I'm going to select security, interoperability, and SQL, but you can select as many as you want. Something else I should note is that if you're in different products, so for example, IRIS for Health, there are different options that you can select here. So specifically when you select IRIS for Health, you get the extra FHIR and healthcare interoperability options as well. But I'm going to go back to IRIS, re-click 22.1. And so then we're just going to generate an upgrade checklist and see what this looks like. So now you can see we have the number of changes listed on the side here. It's listed per category, so you can see exactly what's going on. Core is automatically selected for everything. That's just the basic set of changes that we think everyone needs to be aware of when they're upgrading. But then you can see the numbers for the other features as well. I'm going to towards the top here. Something else you can see on this page, we have this features box. You can click into it and select, more options if you want to add them just to this page alone. So I can select external languages, then you can see on the right over here that it comes out. We also now track specific changes by role. So we have developer, administrator, and all. Those are the 2 roles that we currently have. We're potentially looking into adding more depending on feedback that we get. But if you're a developer upgrading and you're like, I only care about the developer ones, you can select developer, and then you see that the number shrinks, and you only will see the developer instances. Again, Teams messages. But we're just going to do all for now and see what that looks like. You can also export this as a CSV file in case you don't want to just look at this in your web page and you want to interact with it a little bit more, delete stuff as you see. So I'm going to take a look at show you what this looks like. Excel, there we go. So it starts off, each issue has its little number as is listed there, a quick summary, a longer level description of what's going on, and then what the change is from, a category, and an audience. We expect most customers will use this as sort of like a checkbox, so to work through it manually and be like, okay, I looked at this one, I noted that this doesn't affect my particular instance, great, done, move on, and see, and go from there. But it gives you a way to do it in an editable form for yourself. So now I want to go through sort of what you can expect to find in these changes. It's important to note that these are not the new features that InterSystems is supporting in this version. These are specifically the things that we think that you'll run into when you upgrade that will require some attention from you to fix so that your system can continue running smoothly as you upgrade to the newest version. So for an example, I'm going to show you. So this one in particular is the new super server. Now this is a big change itself. The new super server requires a lot of other changes as well. But in particular, what we've noted here is that it removes a specific property from a class that you might have been using. And if you have any code that was using this property of this class, that code is no longer going to work because it no longer exists. And so we think this is something important for you to know, that you should edit code so that things that have been removed are no longer part of your instance. Again, note that a new super server is a big thing in and of itself, and there are other extenuating circumstances that come with it, but the specific change here is that some code that you may have written previously will need to be updated. In addition, for this interoperability, you might see this link to the new rule editor in the SMP. This relies on the way that we do URL prefixes for forwarding in a web application. Here, we've changed the link to the rule editor in the management portal. And so, as a result, you're going to need to update your web applications to forward to a new URL so that you can continue using the rule editor. And then for security, we've introduced a new resource, the Secure Native resource for the native API, and this previously didn't exist, and it was just a part of the developer and manager permissions. So now, for any users of your IRIS instance that are using with the native API, you'll need to specifically give them this permission, and if they don't, you won't have access. So those are just 3 examples of changes that you might find in this list. They sort of change how you will need to interact with IRIS, and then they sort of point you towards directions of what you can do to make sure that your upgrade is as painless as possible. We know upgrades are a big thing, and so we're trying to give you as much information as possible to make sure that you can get through the process as quickly and painlessly as possible. Cool. So that's a little demo. Thank you very much for coming. We want your feedback, so if you can go into the CVent app and click on the event and give us some feedback at all, it would be very much appreciated. And then, as always, please check out our early access programs viewable through this QR code. And if you have any further questions, come up to us. Feel free to come up to ask either of us at the end of this, or contact us by email as you wish. Thank you. Do we have any questions for the group?
Can you show the actual application again?
Yep.
It's very bright. Does it support dark mode?
It does support dark mode. This is a planted question. The InterSystems documentation now generally has dark mode. So this is what you get, and it looks a little nicer. Yes. Latest and greatest. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Okay, so we have still quite a few hundred customers, well, almost 100 customers. There's still, some of them are in 2017, and what we currently do is we upgrade them to 2018 in multiple hops. The last hop, what we do is we take the cache.dats and rename them to iris.dats, and then bring up the instance. It does some pretty decent conversions, and then we plop our application database on top, and it seems to work okay. What do you think about the one hop starting from 2017 and doing the same thing?
I would have to say that I'm not particularly well suited to talk about that sort of upgrade. Generally, we advise that you upgrade to 2018 before upgrading past that, so I would continue to do that as you have.
That's cool. All right.
So we do, yeah, we do upgrade every year. So currently we are doing like 2023.1.3. So what we observed, our extent, we have custom code written, like you said, the security feature was removed on 2024 version, right? So every time when we do the upgrade, we build heavily out-of-box classes. Most of the time, a lot of things are deprecated. So what do you suggest?
Again, I'm gonna say I'm not perfectly equipped to answer that specific question. I can answer questions about this tool and how this works.
Sure.
Specific questions about upgrades, I'm not particularly well equipped to.
Yeah, but the versions, right? So, for example, his case is 2018, right? So if he drastically jump 2024, what will be the impact?
You're saying you drastically jump from 2018?
Very old version to 2024 latest.
Yeah, so
Yeah, from 2018, you can do that.
yes, that would work.
Just my question was earlier. He's suggesting we do a two-hop. But with the scripts that we build, it's a deployment person doing it, and it just goes through the whole thing, and
Yeah.
we have to go through the wizard. It just takes a little longer,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't bring up your application after upgrading from 2017 to 2018. You just then proceed to going into upgrading to the new.
Yeah. If I could summarize what you said briefly, it's that, again, as I said earlier, we suggest a two-hop approach of upgrading to 2018 and then up from there, and you can upgrade from 2018 on to a later instance. Huh? Thank you.
Also in the vein of going from Ensemble to Iris, I saw that once you select, can you go back to the first screen? Where you
Absolutely.
select the actual, yeah, so it only lets you select a single product and then go from one version to another, right? I imagine that's intentional because it's more complex if you're going from Ensemble to Iris. It would be great if just to service to that, if you had like a link somewhere that said, oh, are you trying to upgrade from Ensemble to Iris? Click here, because I know you guys have a ton of documentation on that, but it would be great if this could feed you to that.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there are no more questions for the group, feel free to head out a little bit early. We'll stick around for any further questions that you might have that you want to come up to ask the two of us about. Thank you.